This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT.
Gold heading back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
Settles under it. The senior makes the catch. Perfection. The Shenango, again, are your Class 2A state champions.
Force out the third, and that will do it. Mohawk is your 3A softball champions.
Buzzer's gonna sound. Union repeats as the Class 1A WPIAL champions.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
The sideline getting by one defender, and he's going to go all the way by Harrison. Harrison on the ground finds Blundo. Blundo rolls it in, up and good for two.
Shallow right field, giving a run, a sliding catch made.
Down to 6 on the play clock. Here's Snap in the hole. The kick is up. The kick is long enough. It is good.
That's fly ball deep right field.
Get out of here! Hope running for his life. Throws it up for grabs. There's a man open.
Touchdown.
No way!
Ripped away from him. Right back to Stanley from the seat of his pants, and he throws it off the window and in.
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Live from Glenn Pop Johnston Stadium at Frank Bonjavengo Field. High school football time here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP, as we have Week 2, Game 3 action, non-conference play as the Shenango Wildcats host the Mohawk Warriors. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Maley Chiropractic, by MVP Insurance, by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, by the Newcastle Transit Authority, by the Red Zone, by Medora Bonner Law, by Gem Builders Incorporated, by Pontius Insurance, by Joseph's Marketplace, by Works in Progress Paint Services, by the Crane Room Grill, the City Rescue Mission, the Tri-County Principals Association, the Shenango Teachers Association, the Mohawk Education Association, and the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Lee Moan alongside, I'm James Dotson for the Whiteout event here at Shenango High School. Shenango coming in 0-1, Mohawk 1-1 on the year, and let's get it out of the way right now, Lee. Whiteout not for the reasons that anybody wants to have a whiteout. Again, the community all coming together after the passing of Shenango head coach Jimmy Graham's son, DJ. Passed away last week, a little over a week ago. The community has all come together. Mohawk, all fans wearing their white, student section doing a whiteout in coordination here with Shenango as well. A lot of purple ribbons out there in significance of everything as well, and memories for DJ. It's an interesting atmosphere here, but in talking to the coaching staff before this game, Lee, it was very evident of who the rock and solid this program is, and it's Coach Graham, and he was back because he needed to be back, and that's a very admirable trait, and just a great mindset that he's been able to keep through a great family tragedy.
Yeah, and he's got 30 kids to take care of is the way he's looking at it, too, So the kids, the football team has been in great support of the coach, and nobody knows, that what goes on, behind the scenes and during the scenes and all that stuff. So, all you can do is pray and try to move on the best as you can. And what a surprise, the community's getting together.
Yeah.
That's what Lawrence County does.
That's what Lawrence County does. I won't say better than anyone around, but just about as good as anyone else around. We're getting some pregame entertainment from the youth cheer and dance groups here at Shenango High School. Again, Shenango 0-1 did not play last week in their game against Elwood City. Ended up getting postponed and canceled after the tragedy. Mohawk 1-1, team that's putting points on the board there. What 37 in game one with without a win, and then 32 last week, come from behind to beat Laurel. So one of the top scoring offenses right now in the WPIAL, and actually the third best scoring offense so in Lawrence County. There's just points galore here across Lawrence County.
But they're giving up points, though.
Right.
That's the bad part about it. But, yeah, Bobby Fadden has stepped in. He had big shoes to fill and filling in for his cousin, Jay Rona. But he's really – and took over Jay Rona's number, which was quite interesting.
Love it.
I said last week, I was like, I wonder if he had to ask Jay if he had permission to wear that number this year or not. But he's been just outstanding so far. I said I'm surprised with the arm strength that he's shown. He's only a junior. No, he's going to get better. He's just an awesome, absolutely unbelievable athlete. 386 yards combined passing and rushing here through the first 2 games. So he's on track to do a lot more.
Well, you are 2 for 2 in terms of making sure you didn't say the old number for Jay Rona and then saying little cousin Bobby Fadden's name. We'll see if I can be successful, as successful as that
I will not say
here
little
tonight.
cousin. It's cousin.
Well, it is cousin. Younger cousin. That's a much better way to put it. You are right. We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff here at Glenn Pop Johnson Stadium, Frank Bongiovango Fields. What we're going to do, we're going to take a timeout. We come back. We'll begin to preview this one, get you ready for kickoff here tonight between the Cats and the Warriors. Back in a moment here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
As we continue here on our pregame show, I'm James Dotson with Lee Moan alongside. Kickoff about 18 minutes away now. Get at the top of the hour. We hope, though, unfortunately, there is plenty of weather in the area. It is coming. That's the unfortunate story there.
It's just a matter if we're going to have the white highlights with the rain. That's the catch.
Well, let's hope the only white that we see are the white shirts in the crowd and the white uniforms of Mohawk, the road team. Again, 1-1 coming into this final tune-up for both schools before conference play begins next week. And Shenango looking for their first win. Let's talk about Shenango first and foremost. A loss in Week 0, Game 1 to New Brighton, 9-7. Not often do you see a team pitch a shutout and get a loss, but that's what happened with Shenango. They gave up basically all 9 points in about a 10-second span, a safety and then a kick return for a touchdown. Other than that, the defense was great. The offense drove down the field, got into plus territory a good number of times, but Lee, they just couldn't punch it in, and that ended up being the difference down the stretch because you hold a team of less than 200 yards and no official offensive points, you expect to win. It just didn't quite work that way for the first game of the year.
Yeah, and kudos to New Brighton for getting their first win in almost 2 years or a little over 2 years possibly.
And look who's at the top of the 2A MAC standings officially. They're the only 2-0 team in the MAC. How about that?
Wow. Yeah, so kudos to them. But, I mean, unfortunately it came at the hands of Shenango. But you're just going to build off that, They cut out the turnovers and be able to punch that ball into the end zone. Once you start getting into that red zone, you need to be able to figure out ways to get in. And they got a very good quarterback in Sam Patton. He was part of the top 10 quarterback 2025 in the state of Pennsylvania, named one of those previews. Mm-hmm. So he has the talent. So he's getting some looks, and be able to use that arm strength to get him going.
So the question is, so how much of Sam Patton will we see? He only was cleared to play the first half in the first game. Potentially the same scenario. Didn't get that 100% confirmed for tonight, and especially with a slick surface, you never know. It's tough for the kid. He hasn't played a full season since middle school.
Right.
He's had just the injury bug.
Yeah.
But they have a pretty good number 2 in Nico DeSalvo, and if you don't see him at quarterback, you'll see him at running back as well. A big, powerful 6 foot, 215-pound sophomore. So between the two of them, even if Patton's not on the field, it's not like their offense goes downhill in a heartbeat, because DeSalvo's a good player too.
Yeah, and he did a nice job running the ball last week too. So you like to have those options, but if you can, you'd really like Patton out on the field as much as you can. But the good thing is, though, if you don't have Patton, this is still non-section.
Right.
So that's the other catch.
Let's take a look at this Mohawk team. Again, we talked about Bobby Fadden, what he's done. Blake Logan has been a pleasant surprise for sure. Not surprising to the coaching staff. He was the number 3 receiver last year, jumps to the number 1 after Retort graduates and Fadden moves to quarterback. He's been great, but how about 3 field goals in the first 2 weeks for Blake Logan as well?
He's got quite the leg. He's done a nice job. They brought in Andrew Young, a first-year football player, to maybe try to get some kicking, and unfortunately it hasn't been working out too good early on in the year. But so you got Blake Logan, and he's just been outstanding. He's done everything. He's caught the ball, 16 tackles already for the first 2 weeks. Also on defense. So, I mean, he's been just everywhere. Wherever that ball is, he's finding it.
He's been great to watch, and obviously Jackson Chapman, both offensively and defensively, has been a fun addition, a wrinkle to the offense. But you know what he can do defensively, and I think Coach McCutcheon still laughs at the fact that he did not get an all-conference selection last year.
Yeah,
he started playing his best ball at the end of the year, and it's just continued right into his senior season.
Yeah, he's been just outstanding on the defensive end. Offensively, a little quiet last week, but he made his presence known on the defensive end last week.
We're going to take a time out. When we come back, we're going to have our Axe pregame interviews. Axe is here to get you there. Lawrence County's door-to-door transportation service open to the public, taking people to work, play, and anywhere else you want to go. We're going to a break. We come back. We'll talk with Coach Tim McCutcheon of Mohawk when we return and kick off at the top of the hour between Mohawk and Shenango here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shenango for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
Back here on the pregame show, continuing with our Axe interviews, getting a chance to talk to Coach Tim McCutcheon of Mohawk. And Coach, we talked about it on Wednesday night, but team's been putting points on the board these first 2 weeks. This new look offense really clicking here in the early going.
Yeah, not bad. We're happy with it overall. We talked about it Wednesday. We had a lot of question marks coming in. We brought back some playmakers, but we lost some big time players, including 4 really good linemen up front. So, guys had a good off season, but you just hope that good off season relates to the field, and so far so good.
Turnovers, I know, have been the big point of emphasis in these first 2 weeks. I know obviously the key is always to limit those turnovers, but how do you practice, limiting the turnovers to correct those mistakes?
Yeah, we don't do the ball control tackle circuit at least twice a week, every week, but that's us getting the ball. So we like to assume we're not going to be on the other side of that. Like I told you Wednesday, we let Bobby be an athlete. Sometimes, he's just a very confident athlete, so he believes that he can put any ball anywhere he needs. And we talk about that, and we try to in practice make sure he's not making dumb decisions going through his progressions, and when he does, he doesn't turn it over as much. So it's trying to find that balance of letting him be an athlete but still being smart about it.
Weather, obviously a question and a concern tonight. Anything you learned from our Nittany Lions with weather delays, huh?
Yeah, well, I learned that I hope none of ours are anywhere near as lengthy as that, but also learned that if you're mentally strong, you can come back and produce at the end of it. So, we've talked about that prior to this week, actually. You just never know what you're going to have to deal with, and we've been trying to be a headstrong team anyway, so we're prepared for it, we think. Hopefully we don't have to deal with it. If we do, we hope to come back out and fire on all cylinders.
Real quick, just one quick key or something you want to see your team improve upon from last week's games.
We talked about the turnovers, so that's a big thing. I think last week we were much better on the ground. We want to continue with that. We have some playmakers in space, but starts up front, obviously. We want to get our run game going, and if we get that going, we think it'll open up everything else.
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, James.
We'll be back with more.
Hey, Mom, do you need a ride to the store today?
Oh, no thanks, hon. I got it covered. Mike's taking me.
Okay, well, you have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, right? I can take you to that.
No, I got it covered too. Mike's taking me.
Mike?
Yes, Mike's my Axe driver. Picks me up right at my door and even helps carry my groceries. It's so convenient to schedule and ride with Axe. Wish I would have called him sooner.
Okay, Mom. Sounds like you got it covered.
I have an apple pie ready to eat. How about you help me with that?
Back here at our pregame show, continue with our Axe interviews, get a chance to talk with Shenango coach Jimmy Graham. Coach, let's talk about your defense right off the get-go. Your defense technically pitched a shutout in week 0. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't go the way you want in the end, but talk about the defense of what you saw in week 0 and what you're going to continue to build upon.
Yeah, I thought our defense played really well. I mean, they gave up 0 points on defense, and somehow we managed to lose the game. Obviously, we gave up 9 points in probably 5 seconds between the safety and kicking off and then returning it for a touchdown. So, things we got to clean up a little bit. You try to spell some kids and get them a break, and just, execution wasn't very good on special teams there. It really hurt us. But defensively, we got guys flying to the ball. Our schemes are great in terms of being prepared to eat week in and week out. So hopefully we can continue that this evening.
Two of those big guys defensively, especially Blaze Dando, Michael Legato, a couple of your seniors. Just talk about them and what they've done really on both sides of the ball, but especially defensively.
Yeah, they're the leaders of the team. They got thrown in when they were young, 9th graders, 10th graders, and they've been in the fire. So, we're still a relatively young team, a lot of juniors, sophomores, a couple of freshmen out there. So definitely those guys are leaning on them for leadership and showing them the ropes out there on the field.
Another one of your seniors, obviously, you have a 4-year starter in St. Pat at quarterback. I know still a little banged up, but working with him and Nico DeSalvo looking pretty strong too, both at running back and quarterback.
Yeah, both great athletes. If we had to play 2 quarterbacks, if there was 2 on the field at one time, they'd both be out there. So trying to utilize Nico and Sam both, whether in a running back, receiver, quarterback role. But both very talented at the position. Good runners in space, good with good vision on the field. So hopefully we get them the ball tonight and they can make something happen.
Final question for you, coaches. What's the biggest improvement you want to see from your team from game 1 to game 2 here tonight?
It's same as every game. Just finish. Finish the play, finish the drive, finish the quarter. We last week or 2 weeks ago against New Brighton, we went up and down the field, just couldn't finish the drive and score points. And hopefully we can build on that a little bit, and the kids can take some urgency with that and be a little more assertive to score points when we have the ball.
Coach, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, James.
We're all with you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with our keys to the game, starting lineups, and opening kickoff here from Glenn Pop Johnson Stadium. When we return, it's the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win, proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
There's the alma mater from your Shenango High School marching band. Big thanks again to our Axe pregame interviews, both Coach Graham and Coach McCutcheon. Call 724-652-5588 for more information on Axe, taking people to work, play, and anywhere they want to go. Lee Moe wants to go back over to the food there next door, I'll tell you what.
When you got pierogies and sausage, I mean, that's tough to beat. So we greatly appreciate the hospitality up here in in the press box area. The brownies, pierogies, sausage, hot dogs. Then Augustine's brought in some fried
cheese,
and mozzarella sticks and everything else. And it's like it's great.
Well, big shout out to Mr. Jeff Allay. He might be a terrible fantasy football owner, but he and his life skills class are doing great stuff. And students helping students helping sponsor for the food not only tonight but all year long. I mentioned Jeff, so I got to say it. He's the bad fantasy football player because once upon a time he traded me first-round draft pick the following year for for Peyton Manning, I believe it was, because he didn't have a quarterback and I had two. So he got the flack for about 5 straight years, and we haven't played that league in 5 years, and he's still going to get flack for it. So big thanks to Jeff. Everybody here so hospitable to us, and as we have Mohawk making their way out onto the field here for kickoff tonight. Lee, let's talk about real quick some keys to the game. Keys to the game brought to you by Works in Progress Paint Services. Call Joe Wright at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next painting project. Let's start with Mohawk. A lot of points, and I think it's important for them to strike quickly for sure. But we talked about the other ones. Blake Logan, he's been everywhere, offense, defense, special teams, and obviously the limiting turnovers is going to be big for them too tonight. Yeah,
they do way too many turnovers, way too many big plays too, so they really need to limit that. And like I said, Blake Logan, we hit on him. He's been just outstanding here so far the first 2 games.
For Shenango, General Patton, again, we're only probably expecting to see him for a half of being the general on the field for his team. And it is special teams because, not only did they have that kick return for a touchdown they actually allowed the opening kickoff of the second half back for a touchdown, but it was called back due to a penalty. We talked with Coach Graham and the defensive coordinator, Coach Mauricio, before the game, and basically saying that, we think we've ironed out a lot of the problems, but there were a lot of special teams issues that they had to deal with. The defense was great. They shut them out, but can you make those special teams adjustments that you need tonight?
Yeah, limit the big plays because Mohawk is big time. As they've had the big plays, and Shenango's going to have to limit it if they can.
How about the other bit of news that we learned here tonight? Coach Graham, he's always been at least a hand in calling the plays. Now calling them full time this year, and he said, you know what? I want to be able to see it. He's up in the booth. He coaches from the booth. Lee, that's impressive.
Yeah, we were talking to the defensive coordinator before the game. They said they learned that. They went to a football conference or a football thing down at North Allegheny, and one of the coaches down there, he sort of put that into his head. That's where he coached from. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but that's where he got the idea. And he's like, hey, why not? He lost offensive coordinator. It's like he's calling plays this year. He sees better up here, which he definitely can, so why not?
Coach Graham in his 7th year coaching at his alma mater, and also played just up the road there at Westminster College. Certainly one of the one of the better players that we've seen coming through. Late 90s graduate throwing the football back when he didn't throw it as much. But
how about the second leading passer all time at Westminster?
I mean, no, that's not great at all, is it?
That's pretty darn good. But the thing is about Shenango there, both these schools have never won a WPIAL title in football.
How about last year was the first time Mohawk even made it to the semifinals?
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible in my mind, too. But both these teams a far way away from the playoffs. But I think the other key to the game for both these teams, especially Shenango, a smaller roster, Class 1A.
Yeah,
stay healthy. You got to stay healthy, and that's what's going to make any team.
Yeah, last year was brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. We unfortunately had to see a game where they only dressed 19 or 20, had to play a condensed second half, and I know it's tough when your quarterback is only cleared to play for one half of football, like he was in week 0 in Sam Patton, but at the same time, you got to do anything to make sure that you have your best players ready to go when it matters most. And, as much as you want to say it or not, that's when they play Northgate in 2 weeks is a lot more important than this game, even though it is a conference or a county rival, the second longest and second most played rivalry in Lawrence County history. This is the 75th meeting between Mohawk and Shenango. Oh, wow. Don't tell me this means nothing.
Yeah, we know all these Lawrence County games. When you get these schools together, it is fun because the atmosphere is usually pretty good.
75th meeting dating all the way back to 1930. But the crazy part of it, Lee, is that they've only played now. This is only the 3rd meeting since 2008. They had a bit of a layoff. Well, Mohawk's been pretty consistently in 2A and Shenango in 1A. So, and especially when they went to the 6th class system, it just hasn't worked out since.
Well, now the WPIAL is making the schedules now for the non-conference games. They're trying to create a little bit more of some of these rivalries, getting back together, and which is a good thing. That's one thing WPIAL is definitely doing correct.
Well,
in that aspect.
It depends how you look at it, though, Tim. Sorry, Lee. Wow.
No.
Wow.
That's all right.
I'm muted the rest of the night. Because, so for example, they asked each school what they wanted. And I talked to Coach Graham during the preseason. What he wanted, he didn't care as much about playing local. He wanted to make sure he was playing 1A and 2A schools. He said, we have no problem in driving to play a 1A school. So they gave him the defending state runner-ups.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Okay, yeah. And you also have Southside in your conference, so you have the top 2 teams from Class 1A on your schedule here this year. Whereas Mohawk was saying, hey, we're cool with the local games, and they're playing some local games. Union, same thing. They wanted to play, they scheduled a local, or they didn't schedule a Week 0 game this year. They were kind of thinking along the lines of a 1A opponent, 2A opponent like usual. They got Washington, basically the biggest rostered 2A school, with them being the smallest rostered 2A school in the WPIAL. So, sometimes it works out to what you're looking for, sometimes it doesn't. It's the long and short of it. Captains just met at midfield.
Mohawk won the toss. They elect to receive.
So we will get the Mohawk offense first with your starting lineups. They're brought to you by the Crane Room Grill. Grab a seat at the bar, dining room, loft, or outside on the patio. There's plenty of room at the Crane Room. Remember, you can also place an order for takeout, whether it's dinner, homemade desserts, or Crowler to go. Ooh. Call or place your order at 724-656-1553. We'll get you those full starting lineups here after the opening kick. It's going to be booted away by Shenango, and it's a number 7. We're off to a great start because I don't have a 7 on my roster there.
For Mohawk?
Shenango. For Shenango.
For Shenango, near to watch. So let me find out.
So we'll send Lee out on his mission. Kickoffs last week, I believe, were, I believe they were A.J. Farilla. So it's Yazid Suleiman who is going to be kicking it off. And we are underway here from Glenn Pop Johnston Stadium. Kick towards the near sideline. It's going to go through the hands of the return man and out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, right through the wickets of Cash Stratton, and Mohawk's going to have to take over at their own 8-yard line. So Mohawk, Bobby Fadden coming in. He's the starting quarterback. Cass Stratton and Sam List will be the 2 guys you see in the backfield. Your tight end, Jackson Chapman. Joey Nail, Blake Logan, Connor Hart will be your receiving core. And on the offensive line, left to right, an impressive offensive line in the early going this year, Lee. Dylan Sumi, Cody Falk, Franklin Kelly, Trey Gangoni, and Dan Monaco from left to right for the Warriors. But starting deep in their own territory, Fadden in the gun on 1st and 10. Going to give it to the lone back. Right up the gut is List out to the 15-yard line. Nice hole right up the gut, and way to get out of the shadow of your goalpost right away.
Yeah, by the way, you're going to be seeing Gangone out on the field during halftime, too, because he placed the 2, but for the
we had both Chapman brothers, I believe, last year, right?
And Alex will be out there playing the bass drum. They had the first week, it was 90 degrees, and the black face paint just coming down his face. And
so that's, I think, was awesome, though, too, is that Alex, who graduated last year, and Jackson, the junior, last year, now a senior, even in the playoffs, even in the state WPIAL semis, still going out and playing with their bandmates. Love to see it.
You better believe it.
Nice hole on the right side, breaking a couple of tackles, trying to bounce out is List, and he's going to get enough for a first down. That's going to be a 9-yard pickup, first down of the game for the Warriors.
Yeah, I printed out the Mohawk stats and then forgot to bring them. But yeah, listen, you'll also see the freshman up in there in Cash Stratton, who's had a nice. Looks like he's going to be a very good one. They're using both of them pretty evenly.
Coach McCutcheon talked about how rare it is that he's had a freshman get playing time, and he saw a good chunk of time, especially at defensive back last year. Right up the middle here, and nowhere to go, running into a brick wall was List on his 3rd carry.
Yeah, that was Gavin Reed who just absolutely annihilated him there. did a good job getting away from this man and just clogging up that hole.
No gain on the play. Gavin Reed, Connor Click, Ethan Iwaniko, and Blaze Dando are the defensive linemen. You'll see Michael Egato with Jacob Kammerer and A.J. Farilla, the linebackers. And you'll see Ross, DeSalvo, Dando, and Kessler in the secondary.
Yeah, Reed's the big boy, 5'11", 275.
Yeah, eating up room in the middle. No gain. Actually, a loss of one on that. Second down, first time in the air, throw to the near side. Another catch for Logan. Makes one man miss up the middle. Blows over a man with the truck stick, and that should be enough to move the chains. 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, nice job there. Looks like Shenango had him pinned. It looked like Anthony Farilla came up. Looked like he's had tackle, but he slips inside, gets into the middle of the field. You said run over the player, first down.
11th catch of the season for Blake Logan. 1st and 10 here, opening drive of our game. Again, those starting lineups brought to you by the Crane Room Grill. Tune in the second half. Our winning word.
Ooh.
Get you a free starter for those starting lineups
We
tonight.
can remember that.
Pistol set and up the middle again. Nice hole up the gut and still dragging tacklers all the way near the sticks, and they are going to move the sticks. 4th carry. 3 of them have gone for big gains for Sam List.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night if that offensive line continues to make push like that.
Well, let's talk about that offensive line real quick, Lee, because that was one of the big question marks coming into this season for Mohawk. They lost, I believe, 3 starters on the offensive line, 2 of which were all conference players. One was the lineman of the year. You didn't know what you were going to really get with this new look line, but they've done a great job in these first 2 weeks.
Yeah, they sure have. This offense, like I said, been clicking really well.
Another pistol set. This time, nowhere to go. Click it up on the outside, but right up the A-gap is Michael Egato, and he's been the heart and soul of this Shenango defense over the last couple of years.
Yeah, good job there by Egato coming in and the shoestring tackle. Hey, the guy who's supposed to keep stats for us, I think he's down taking pictures right now, too.
That's fine.
Yeah, but that's all right. We're keeping him.
Keeping them busy and you keep them away from the food. That means you got more at halftime.
Oh my gosh, they just brought more in.
Did they really?
They just brought something to the right there. Cookies and, it's insane.
2 receivers each way on 2nd down and 10. Fadden looking to pass. 3-step drop. Pumps. He's going to tuck and run, but nowhere to go. Runs right into a wall. Gavin Reed and company right there to stop after a short gain. It'll be 3rd down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Blaze Dando in there. I thought Fadden was going to have to be able to get around him, but good job by Dando to clog up that hole. Dando finished 8th in the shot put and 7th in the discus in the WPIAL last year.
Throw in the fact you had Colton Fedrizzi, who had won 2 different events last year. The Shenango track and field team, both boys
dynamite.
and girls, have been dynamite, especially in the throwing events.
2022 WPIAL champs.
3rd down and 9, rolling out is Fadden. Throw on the run and over the top and tiptoe on the sideline, and they're going to get the catch right at the 40. Guess who? Blake Logan. Beautiful touch on that pass there, Lee.
You'll be saying that all night long because Fadden just does a great job of just going outside to create some space. And then we talked to Coach McCutcheon before the game. It's like we got to let Bobby be Bobby. Don't do stuff too crazy, but he has that athletic ability. He can make plays.
Talking to one of the Shenango coaches before the game, like how do you stop a mobile quarterback who can just flick of the wrist on the run, throw it 45 yards down the field? The touch on that pass to get it over the defender, though, impressive there. 9th play of this opening drive for Mohawk. Play action rolling to the near side now is Fadden. Fires this one, and this one's going to be a little too hot to handle. Great coverage by Trey Ross on the out route.
Yeah, they do that quite a bit. Once that run game gets going, They love that play action, and you'll see Fadden rolling out left and throwing right. He has the ability to do that.
Yeah, coming into today's game, Fadden with 222 rushing yards to lead the team. Blake Logan with 222 receiving yards to lead the team. And by the way, each of them with 3 touchdowns. So they're going blow for blow, basically, receiver versus running quarterback.
Yeah, and I wonder if Fadden's a better basketball player. We'll find that out.
I mean, he's a 1,000-point scorer as a sophomore.
Yeah.
He'll hand it off on 2nd down and getting gobbled up immediately. Nowhere to go is Sam List. In fact, loses a yard.
Yeah, back in there, Chad Christopher and Dominic Dando. You mentioned Fadden, 1,077 points.
Well, how about this, though?
Years.
Who is the all-time leading receiver in Mohawk football history?
not Bobby Fadden.
It is Bobby Fadden.
Yeah,
in 2 years of a football player, he has more receiving yards and more receiving touchdowns than anybody in Mohawk history, but he's now the quarterback, and he's going to have to direct a 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. They'll have already converted once on 3rd down, have Mohawk here on this opening drive that's taken over 5 minutes off the clock, and 3rd and 11 just became 3rd and 6. Gavin Reed a little antsy there in the interior of the line.
Yeah, you hate to see that mistake by the junior. That's a big 5 yards, though. Now you can open up the playbook a little bit more with being a 3rd and 6 instead of a 3rd and 11.
Not often can you see a first-year starting quarterback run the hard count that well, but he has been the backup QB the last 2 years. Coach McCutcheon very animated with talking about that. Like, he's got his reps. He knows what he's doing. Now facing a 3rd and 6, and they got him again.
Jeez.
3rd and 6, this became 3rd and 1.
That time is Dando.
We talk about opening up the playbook. Makes it even easier now.
Well, that's part of their playbook, though. Hard count.
Clock winds again with 6:30 remaining here in the opening frame.
Yeah, we usually have that one Shenango fan that's very vocal here in the stands.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
As long as they keep it clean.
Yeah, they do fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
3rd and 1 again, List in the pistol, high snap. Good job to corral by Fadden. Handoff and the first down, breaking a couple of tackles and fighting forward before Farilla takes him down. That's going to be a gain of about 7 or 8 yards and another first down, another 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, and you can see in the replay here they had him at the line of scrimmage there, but a good job breaking the tackle, getting into that secondary, get the first down.
7 carries for 32 yards on this opening drive for Sam List. This is the 12th play of this opening drive that began at the Mohawk 8-yard line after the kickoff went through the hands of the returner. Chapman, the lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Handoff and a big hole on the left side. Makes one man miss, gets inside the 10, dragged down at the 5-yard line. That was designed to go inside Lee, but he saw the hole, and Sam List bounces it outside for a big gain.
Yeah, and they're now inside the red zone. Spirit Sales can help raise big money for your organization. Fill out a form. The Red Zone does the rest. You can visit them online at theredzzonesports.com. That's theredzzonesports.com.
Great vision there from the senior tailback who missed time down the stretch with an injury. He was the backup to Justin Boston. Imagine if they had List as that second running back option all throughout that postseason. He's going to get another carry. No, zone read and a keeper from Fadden, and he's going to elude a couple of defenders into the end zone for our game's first touchdown, capping off a 13-play scoring drive. Mohawk strikes first.
Made it look easy, and that's what Fadden does. He's so good at faking the ball. Was able to get that fake. You saw the replay there, and then just run around the end, cut back inside, get the touchdown. So making it look easy. Blake Logan will do the kicking duties here.
Logan to snap, and it will be Fadden to hold. Opening drive just under 7 minutes off the clock as well.
6:55.
Even Lee Moan can do that math. Right down Broadway for Blake Logan's extra point. 7-0, Mohawk leading Shenango. Back in a moment. Here it's Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win. Proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Wildcat giving us a little bit of love there, Limo, but the Cats down 7-0 after that 13-play, 92-yard drive, capped off with the Bobby Fadden 6-yard keeper, as Andrew Lloyd will boot this away with the left foot, end-over-end kick. It's going to be caught at about the 13-yard line. That's Trey Ross. Yep. He's going to break one tackle, break another tackle before he is spun down just shy of the 30. And now we'll get to see the Shenango Wildcat offense out on the field for the first time. That drive summary, Limon, brought to you by our friends at Joseph's Marketplace.
Give me a chance.
Yeah.
Give me a chance, Joseph.
I was making sure you were still with me over there.
Oh, I am, Joseph's Marketplace. I was just trying to read my stat that I have on Trey Ross, but we'll get into it here. Joseph's Marketplace, they've been around since 1915. 109 years. I can do that math, too.
I'll be stopping by Joseph's Marketplace. See what they're cooking. They still have a couple more weekend grill outs going on.
Yeah, we need to definitely hit that before a game.
Now we're
going to gain 10 pounds every weekend between there, Crane Room, Shenango.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Quick slant on the first play, and it's going to be knocked away from Michael Egato. Sam Patton going a little sidearm action there, put it in. Tight coverage and good job defensively from Mohawk and Egato to almost get it on the deflection.
Yeah, that was Cash Stratton on the deflection with a good coverage.
We'll get our starting lineups here for Shenango after this second down play. We'll see what Coach Graham draws up. Again, Coach Graham from the booth this year as he is the head coach but also the offensive coordinator. Said Coach Dave will kind of be the Dave Patton or Drew Mercy will be the on-field coach, essentially. And we're going to have movement up front, and we'll push Shenango back, their third penalty of the game. So your starting lineup, Sam Patton, the quarterback, A.J. Farilla, the tailback. He had the lone touchdown back in Week 0. You also see Nico DeSalvo either at quarterback or running back. Trey Ross, Michael Egato, the slot receivers, Braden George, Michael Kessler on the outside, and the O-line left to right. Blaze Dando, Connor Click, Gavin Reed, Jacob Kammerer, and Ethan Iwanico.
Hey, we got great news, too. We forgot to mention no Henry sighting tonight.
We need a sponsor for that as well.
I thought the same thing. John Yurge, if you're tuning in.
Oh, I'm sure he loves that idea. Two receivers each way on 2nd and 15. Patton's going to fire it on the near sideline. Has a man behind the defense, but it's just a yard out in front. Braden George had a step on the defender. Good arm, but just a little bit too far for the senior wideout to get to.
He had more than a step. I think he had 2 or 3 steps. He definitely, if that ball's in his gut, that's going to be a 76-yard touchdown, but just a little bit too long.
Third down and 15, not the start Shenango wants for sure. As the ponchos and the umbrellas are coming back out, Lee, we had a few showers during pregame, and people scrambling now.
Big time.
Looking on the quick slant on the near side, it's going to be deflected. Great coverage, really not even allowing that route to happen by Sam List.
Well, the reason that ball got thrown so quick, too, and off track, Joey Nail was able to get a hand in the face of Patton. So the 3 and out, not a good sign there for Shenango. There. Our intern down there covering the camera. He doesn't care about himself, though.
Nah.
I like it. Cover the $1,000 worth of equipment first. It's a nice camera he has, by the way.
Yeah, Alex is going to get some great shots.
Yeah.
Appreciate our interns are out here tonight, Alex DeVito and Leah Verdi. Great stuff from them as that punt nearly blocked, taken at the 37-yard line, coming towards the near side and getting upended. Ball on the ground, but he's able to come right back on it before it's ripped away. Believe that was Brody Wolf on the return. No, excuse me, that was 22, not 12. Connor Hart on the return.
Yeah, it was Connor Hart, yeah. Yeah, they looked like they might have called that a fumble, too.
Oh, it definitely was out. Yeah. How about that? You just gave up a 13-play drive, but then 3 incompletions. That's only 30 seconds off the clock, and Mohawk coming back out onto the field.
Yeah, defense right back out. By the way, our instant replay brought to you by El Cap every week. Really appreciate them. 724-944-7671 for preschool classrooms across Lawrence County. Again, check them out.
So starting at the 46-yard line, much better field position this time for the Warriors. Another high snap, able to take care of it, and right up the gut. See you later. One touch 54 yards to pay dirt for Cash Stratton. Cash Money doubling up the advantage.
That's the offensive line right there. Huge hole. Stratton hit it. Once he got to about 5 yards out, forget about it. Nobody's going to catch Cash.
So a nearly 7-minute drive the first time. This one only 10 seconds off the clock.
That's your Joseph Market scoring recap. 10 seconds, 54-yard drive. One play.
Logan on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up and just inside the right, upright and good. 14-0 Mohawk leads midway through this opening quarter. We'll be back in a moment. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Mohawk keeping you moving, that's for sure. And I think we just get a lightning call. We did. We just saw the officials give a lightning signal at 7:19. We have a lightning delay with a 14-0 Mohawk lead.
And the new rule here that everybody has to leave the stands. They
Yes.
did open the gymnasium. They're opening up the gymnasium here at Shenango
So
High
you
School.
either got to go to your car or you got to go to the gymnasium.
Wow. And the heavy stuff is south of here.
Yes. I just said that not a good start for Shenango, and now you got to go and ruminate in the locker rooms for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, I just looked at the radar, and everything the main stuff looks like it's south or east here. Excuse me.
Yeah, we missed the worst of the first wave. There is going to be a second wave coming through. So let's recap what we got here so far. Lee. Mohawk opening kick went through the return man's hands. Went out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Long drive ahead of them, long field ahead of them, but they do go on a 13-play, 92-yard drive. On that drive, Sam List goes 8 carries for 49 yards, but Bobby Fadden on the keeper for the first score of the game. Shenango goes 3 and out on 3 incomplete passes. Punt takes it close to midfield. A 54-yard touchdown run on one play from Cass Stratton. And that's where we are right now. We are waiting for the opening kick after that touchdown, but we are now under a weather delay. So not sure what's going on at the other game just up the road at Neshannock. Turn on over to that one while we wait for at least 30 minutes here before we can get 30 minutes plus. Obviously, they got to go and warm up and everything again.
By the way, those extra points and extra points and field goals sponsored by where are we at here?
It's Specialty Cookies there, sir.
Specialty Cookies. There we go. The Specialty Cookies this year by Laurier Heights for every point scored by the special teams in our broadcast this season. They will make a contribution to the Mark Shaw Scholarship Fund. We want to thank the Heights family for the support of Shawsey Scholarships here in Lawrence County. For more information on how you can support the Mark Shaw Scholarship Fund, visit lcsportsnet.com/scholarship. And next year, June 28th.
There it is. Yep.
June 28th next year at Castle Hills. Thanks to Bub Kirkwood for setting things up for us at Castle Hills Golf Course. We will have a 4-man golf scramble, 2 o'clock tee time. So you can email Mr. Dotson for more information on that if you'd like to sponsor anything to that. But we'd like to raise a lot of money and get some kids, give them some scholarships for their college education.
Yeah, anybody who is graduating this year, or we can even take former high school graduates from Lawrence County that are going into sports broadcasting or anything in the media field. Well, even if somebody says that they want to be a professional and official and have already got their official's license, that was another big Mark Shaw's. We would definitely consider that as well. So,
yes.
What do we learn today about his origins with our good friend, the Mr. PA announcer, Mr. Augustine here?
Mr. Augustine, he was original I won't say original worker, but he was a worker at Augustine's Pizza, which he made some money and ate a lot. What a surprise!
What a surprise! Why do you think he always came to here in Laurel? Because he would make a little money, watch football, and he would eat a lot.
Well, remember the three rules: food and phone line are the first two things in the order.
In that order.
Yeah, food, phone line, then dry in the booth.
Yeah, food, phone line, and dry. We got all of that here.
Those were the three things that Shawsey wants.
That's all that mattered.
Now we don't have to worry about a phone line anymore.
That is true, but we now it's food, phone line, food, Wi-Fi, and staying dry. So big thanks again, everybody here, Jam Budai, and everybody here with Shenango, always taking good care of us for sure.
And the thing is, if Shawsey was still here with us, we could. I mean, I had a guy down in North Allegheny, the late Don Vandergriff. We called him the human lightning delay. So because we go in a lightning delay, there was no commercials, so you could just say, Mr. Don Vandergriff, what do you think about? And 20 minutes later, you ask the next question.
Right.
We could do that with Shaws with the history of Lawrence County sports that he was just so knowledgeable on that he just throws.
We wouldn't need to do what we're about to do here. We're gonna step aside and we're going to. We'll keep you updated here. The lightning delay began at 7:19, so we'll be at least 7:49 before we can do anything here. We'll keep you posted. In the meantime,
radar didn't look bad.
No,
radar looked green instead of the lightning was.
It's all.
It looks green.
It looks green, but lightning within 10 miles or lightning within eyesight, we have to.
Whatever it might be. So, but anyway, we'll keep you updated.
We will. So tune in here. We'll keep you posted.
We'll go eat.
In the meantime, we will go eat. You go eat. You go flip on over to the Neshannock Elwood City game. By the way, just got an out-of-town scoreboard for that one. Elwood leading at the end of the first quarter over Neshannock, 7-0. We'll step aside in a lightning delay, 14-0. Mohawk over Shenango. We'll be back. We'll say at about 7:40 with another update here from Glenn Pop Johnson Stadium.
Since 1911, the City Rescue Mission has been serving our community by providing food for the hungry, shelter for the homeless, and hope for the lost. We continue to love all that come through our doors, extending mercy and providing grace just as God has done for each of us, serving with a compassionate heart and sharing the good news of the gospel and the hope we all have in Jesus Christ, just like we've done since 1911. We can't do this alone, and we continue to need your help.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
All right, just to give a quick update here from Shenango High School, Glenn Pop Johnston Stadium, Frank Bongivengo Field under a lightning delay, as is most of the rest of the county here at this point. As well, the storms have come through, rain coming down pretty hard. It's reminiscent of the Laurel versus Union game that was here in the playoffs 2 years ago. 14-0 is your score. Touchdown runs from Bobby Fadden and Cash Stratton on Mohawk's opening 2 possessions. Shenango with 1 possession went 3 and out. The other scores we got going across the county, you can see it on your out-of-town scoreboard there at the bottom of your screen. Neshannock trailed 14-0, but they are now tied 14-all. But they just went under a weather delay about 10 minutes ago there at Neshannock. Laurel and Riverside went to a weather delay very early at 0-0. Looked like they were back ready to play again, but it looks like they are back in delay mode as well. Newcastle trailing Highland 7-6. That was midway through the first quarter with 5:20 remaining in the first quarter when they went under a delay in that one. 2 other games that are still going up north and down south. Wilmington leading Northern Bedford County midway through the second quarter of that one by a 14-0 scoreline. And Union traveling to Prexyland to take on Washington. Washington leading Union 7-6 there late in the first half of that game. We'll try to keep tabs on that. We have the links to all those games on our Twitter page on Facebook as well. Right on cue, Northern Bedford scores, so it's 14-7 now. Wilmington leading Northern Bedford County midway through the second quarter. We've seen multitude of lightning strikes here, of course sporadic over like 5-10 minutes at a time. Every time there's a lightning strike that is seen within our perimeter, that means we have to wait at least 30 more minutes. So at this point, the best bet we're going to get would be a restart at 8:25. We'll keep you posted on here. Keep this open. We'll come back on with more announcements as we get them. Otherwise, you can check out that Washington Union game going on. We posted a link to the video stream of that one and many other games going on further south towards Pittsburgh and apparently up north as well. Last week was Beaver County that got hammered with the storms and cancellations. It might be Lawrence County feeling the wrath here in this one. But 14-0 your score here, Mohawk over Shenango. We will step aside again. We'll keep you updated best as we can as to the situation of what we got going on here from Shenango. another update here from Shenango High School, that there is really no update here other than we would anticipate at best at this point an 8:35 start. I think even that's being a little bit optimistic. 14-0 your scoreline here. But while we had a moment, just because we're figuring out all of the contingency plans, this being non-conference, you saw it last week, so many games down in Beaver County that were just canceled, non-contest, no contest as a result. Because they're non-conference games, they don't matter, and you don't want to get hurt. Why wait around all evening? It would not surprise if that ends up being the call either here or Neshannock or Laurel, all under delays. Newcastle and Highlands also under a delay as well. But while we're thinking about it, especially if we have the fans watching at the Crane Room right now, we didn't get a chance to officially give your winning word. If you are in desire to go get some late-night food, if you're sitting in the car waiting for updates, stop by the Crane Room and say the word lightning and get a free basket of Crane chips. Another one. There. So again, your Crane Room winning word is lightning. Go to the Crane Room tonight. Open until midnight every Friday night the rest of this fall football season. Say the word lightning and get a free basket of Crane chips when you get there. A free starter for our Crane Room starting lineups sponsor. Big thanks to them. Your winning word, lightning. We are in another lightning delay. The word on the street here is we'll be given until about 8:30 to make a decision. If we have any more delays after 8:30, sounds like that's when the game will be declared. Not sure what that means, if it's going to be declared a no contest potentially, or if this is going to be declared as a postponement, maybe to play tomorrow. Not entirely sure. The good news with this game compared to a lot of others is that it is two teams very local. Not a huge deal to get a team on a bus for the game, for a game tomorrow if they do a resumption tomorrow, because it's only about 15 miles between Shenango and Mohawk. A lot different if it was, say, Wilmington versus Northern Bedford or Union traveling down to Washington. But we don't know anything other than that it's 14-0. We are in a delay for at least another half an hour from now, so we're going to say 8:45 as your best case scenario. Stay tuned if you're listening in the car here at Shenango High School, or if you're tuned in from home. Stay dry, stay safe out there. Heard there's some really nasty weather down south right now in Beaver County, so be safe out there. We'll update you as soon as we can.